With us in the studio is KTS Tulsi. He's represented Robert Vadra in the past, Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Dr. Sambit Patra, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Senior Journalist Kumar Ketkar. And my first question is to Aam Aadmi Party leader Ashish Khetan. Ashish, the facts are very simple. Within a period of 2 years before the UPA 2 government goes, Robert Vadra sets up a slew of companies. Within weeks and months of the UPA 2 falling, Robert Vadra winds out several companies, 6 of them. What's the issue here?
It's a blatant case of crony capitalism, nepotism, political dishonesty. It's very blatant. If you are the son or the daughter or the damad of the party in power or the politician in power or the prime minister or the party president, then you'll get sweetheart deals.
Right.
And you'll get them at the cost of the state exchequer.
Right.
You'll walk away with precious public land, with precious natural resources, with precious deals, without any ability, without putting any money on the table, without making any business sense.
So if KTS Tulsi says to you, if KTS Tulsi says to you, obviously, if KTS Tulsi were to say to you, and Sambit Patra, let's listen closely to KTS Tulsi's explanation. If KTS Tulsi says to you that Robert Vadra is an independent citizen, he can set up any company when he wants, he can close down any company that he wants to, whenever he wants to. He does not owe an explanation to anyone, leave alone Sambit Patra or the BJP. What would you say, Sambit Patra?
Arnab, I would say first and foremost, I could not listen to whatever transpired before I am speaking because I could not listen to any of that. But since I am just answering to your question, that Mr. Robert Vadra is a private citizen, so he has the right to set up a company at any time he wishes and close at his will. I would say a private citizen who loots the country, who loots public money, is in no way free to set up a company at his will and close the company at his will. In fact, he is constantly under the scrutiny of the law. The law of the land has to be followed, and that's why I would say today is a day when Mr. Robert Vadra does not have the protective shield and he is frustrated and he is fearful. That's the reason as to why he's closing his companies.
Why has he done these things in such a suspicious manner, KTS Tulsi?
No, obviously there is a cover-up.
Let's hear from him. If it's a cover-up, let's hear at least from someone who understands the case in detail and has in fact represented him. KTS Tulsi, it's far too suspicious. The circumstances of the setting up of the companies and the closure of the companies.
Okay, can I first clarify that I've never been Mr. Vadra's lawyer, and I have, of course, stated my opinion on the basis of whatever was available in the public domain. Secondly, according to the Times of India story, there were 6 companies that are wound up.
Yeah.
And the Times of India perhaps has named each of them: Lifeline Agrotech Limited, Green Wave Agro Private Limited, Right Line Agriculture Private Limited, Prime Time Agro Private Limited, and 2 companies which are said to be in the process of closing are said to be Future Infra Agro Private Limited and Best Season Agro Private Limited. I want to understand, suppose it were to be revealed by the most thorough inquiry that none of these 6 companies did even did a rupee of business. My learned friend, Mr. Patra, has jumped to the conclusion looted. If none of these 6 companies have done even a rupee of business from the date of incorporation to the date of winding up,
why were they set up?
And in the other last
The CAG of this country has concluded that Mr. Vadra had been made to have a windfall gain of 41 crores, more than that, on public money.
I am talking about not what you want the country to believe. I am asking whether these are the 6 companies or you are talking about something else and the Times of India report is wrong.
No, what you show
the Times of India report.
What you show post facto.
The Times of India report.
Tulsi, one second. You're trying to confound the matter. Let me turn it back to you. Each of these 6 companies were incorporated between June and August 2012. Am I correct?
You are right.
Okay. Has Vadra submitted so far as of now till last week details of the company's transactions or its returns to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs?
All right. Can I ask you a counter question?
Is there a case of non-disclosure here? No, one second. I have a third question.
No, there is no question on non-disclosure.
No, one second.
Please permit
all
me
these
to,
companies, no, one second. All these, one second. Is it true that in the same period, Skylight Hospitality, which is another of his companies, posted an impressive 33 crore profit in 2012-13?
No. The question is, Skylight has not been closed.
Let me go very specific.
According to your own
what I'm
story.
saying to you is it true that all these companies have the name agro to them? What kind of agro business was Robert Vadra doing? Let me ask you that. I ask you a counter question. What agro business was Robert Vadra engaged in?
Can I answer this?
Yes.
Robert Vadra did not do any business of agro.
No, then why is he setting up 6 agro companies?
These companies were formed according to whatever is available in the domain. I can say that these companies were formed for the purpose of doing some agro business.
What is that agro business?
The national highway.
Why this intent of doing an agro business suddenly dropped after UPA exited and NDA came into power?
No.
If he's a genuine businessman, Robert Vadra should continue to pursue his agro business.
No, how come?
No. The pursuit of agro business should continue regardless of who is in power and who is not, because he's a private citizen.
No. Can I answer?
Were these companies involved in any land dealings?
According to your own story in Times of India, it was not discontinued because after the new government of BJP came into power in Rajasthan,
sir, you are now,
it was discontinued
Mr. Tulsi,
because the alignment of the road was changed by the previous government.
No, Mr. Tulsi, how can you decide what company you will set up according to the alignment of the road? So your argument now is, and I'll get Sambit Patra and Kumar Ketkar in, but I just want to put a statutory warning at this point of time, and I put this with all sense of responsibility because KTS Tulsi is a seasoned Supreme Court lawyer. I don't usually give statutory warnings to a Supreme Court lawyer, but I'm sure he'll take it in the right spirit. In his reported statement on July 9, 2012, Mr. Tulsi, which Mr. Tulsi is repeating, Robert Vadra claims, Kumar Ketkar, Robert Vadra claims that these companies are being lawfully shut down because they have not done any business since they are incorporated. I have 4 questions. You tell me, Mr. Ketkar, as a seasoned journalist, who in the world, in their right mind, incorporates 6 companies within a span of 3 months if they are not meant to do any business?
Well, actually,
who does that, Mr. Ketkar?
Yeah, actually what you say, there is enough circumstantial evidence to show that the companies were formed because the government was friendly and the companies were withdrawn because the government...
But Mr. Tulsi won't acknowledge that.
I am saying by circumstantial evidence when the companies were formed and when the companies were withdrawn. The point is, Times Now was not there between 1998 and 2004. Otherwise, I think Times Now would have investigated even Ranjan Bhattacharya's case, who was the...
we would have perhaps.
Would have investigated Ranjan Bhattacharya case because Ranjan Bhattacharya also was the son-in-law of the BJP. So I am not concerned with this and that. I am merely saying that inquiry should be conducted. Inquiry should be conducted. Inquiry should be definitely conducted. And if investigations... If investigations find,
because
but if investigations find
let me say that in that case because Ashish Khetan says it and you do. If the time comes when the opportunity is there, if the documents are placed on record, we will also investigate
that Patra is guilty.
There are enough documents.
Okay, we'll
if the investigations find Patra is guilty and if the conviction accordingly, then he should be punished according to law. I have nothing to say in defense of Patra or in offense of Patra because I don't know the case. I don't have any stake in the land in Haryana or Rajasthan anywhere. I am merely saying on the basis of all the reports that are published that no herapheri should be allowed, whether it is by Ranjan Bhattacharya or whoever.
I have a question from Mr. Tulsi.
Go ahead.
Mr. Tulsi, I want to ask you something.
Over here.
I'll come to you, Sambit.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I can see your legal defense, and I agree that you may not be a legal counsel. But we all know that every year there are several CAG reports tabled in Parliament which very methodically, very carefully chronicle the loss that the government suffers because of faulty procurement, because of crony capitalism and so on. Not all those reports lead into criminal investigation and criminal cases. But just because let's agree that there may not be any legal case against Robert Vadra. But I want to ask you something. Isn't this a case of something very, very unethical? Misuse of power, misuse of state machinery, misuse of the post of chief minister? Wasn't the chief minister of Haryana trying to please people in power at the center? Will you agree with that?
Who are
we
you
are
asking?
praying. What I want to say is,
Mr. Ketkar,
if I may be permitted to say
Yes.
in a couple of minutes, what I want to say is that the entire peg for this story is counterfeit. The peg of the story is that the 6 companies are being closed down because the government has changed. And now the loot, the Sanjay Patra uses the word loot.
Sambit Patra, yes, he does use the word loot. I think Ashish Khetan also uses the word
No,
loot.
no, no. CAG report says that Robert Vadra made an undue gain of 44 crore rupees at the cost of the state exchequer. Now all these companies have been formed in the same structure.
Are you alleging?
These companies are part of the same transaction,
If the company
Mr.
is being
Tulsi.
closed down,
Arnab, now I want to answer
the
Mr.
company is
KTS
being closed
Tulsi.
down, I am
First and
sorry,
foremost,
please
Arnab, let
permit
me
me to
congratulate
answer the
Times
counter
now
question.
that
If
today
the
you have
company is
2
being
people
closed
who are
down,
protecting
have
Robert
not
Vadra.
done
There were
one
days
rupee
when
of
no one was
business.
protecting Robert Vadra. You have Mr. KTS Tulsi also, and you have Mr. Ketkar also.
I am not
Both of them are
defending.
standing in
I
protection
am
of
not, Mr.
Robert
Patra. I
Vadra.
am not defending. I am not defending
Ketkar ji.
Vadra or anybody.
Ketkar ji,
I
no,
am
no,
a
no,
journalist.
this is an
I am
oblique-
not
this
in
is
the
an
business.
oblique
I am
statement
not in the
I'm
business of
making.
defending
Ketkar ji.
anybody. I will not
Ketkar
defend
ji,
Vadra or
listen to me.
anybody.
Ketkar ji,
I am
listen
merely
to
saying
me.
that let us not
you
have
happen
selected
to know
cases.
nothing about Robert Vadra.
I
but
don't
you
know
happen to
anything. I am
everything
not
about
defending
Sambit
him. Why are you
Patra.
saying I am defending
It is
him?
an irony.
No, but why are you saying I am defending him? I am
You
not
happen to know
defending
nothing
him.
about
you
Robert
also
Vadra,
have
but you
some
know
Ranjan
everything about
Bhattacharya. I am not
Ranjan
defending him.
Bhattacharya.
Sambit,
Now,
you should say
Please,
that NDA would also
don't
investigate
misguide.
Ranjan Bhattacharya.
Please
This
don't
case
misguide
of
viewers and
Mr.
the
Robert
Why don't you make a
Vadra
statement
closing
that
his
this government will
companies
also investigate
is
Ranjan
very
Bhattacharya?
similar to the Congress
And all other crony
behavior,
capitalists.
where when Congress was just a second, when Congress was asked that was there a coal scam, then Congress shouted no,
why are you
there was no
asking me this
coal
question
scam
about Congress?
because the
Let
coal
Congress
was in
defend
Mother
itself.
Earth. Similarly, today
I
when we are
am
asking
not
Robert Vadra, was
I
there
am
any
not
scam in
involved
closing
in
the
either
company?
defending Congress or
Mr.
offending
Tulsi
Congress.
is
Why are
saying,
you
Mr.
accusing?
Tulsi
Why are
is
you
You
saying,
realize, both
there was
of you,
no
do you realize
scam
what's happening?
because
Gentlemen, one
the
second.
companies
Mr.
are doing
Ketkar,
their
Mr.
business.
Ketkar, you are a very
I am
senior
not
person. I don't want to
defending Vadra.
interrupt you, but I will.
I am
want
not
to ask
defending
you one
Vadra
thing.
because
You
I don't
realize
know
what's
the case.
happening in the course of this debate. The person who's getting away is Mr. Tulsi, who is providing a legal defense to
No, he
Robert
may,
Vadra, and I want to take Mr. Tulsi on with the greatest of
But
respect.
Arnab,
Mr.
let it be clear,
Mr.
I am
Tulsi, with the
not-
greatest of respect, may
I
I
am
take you
not
on some of the
defending
points that you
Vadra.
made? One second. Mr. Tulsi, I need to take you on. May I take you on? Thank you very much. I think I can. Mr.
Sure,
Tulsi,
sure,
I have
why not?
4 questions for you. Now, I want a truthful answer to each of them. My first question to you is, if these companies have not done any business as you are saying, or carried out any transaction as Robert Vadra is saying, can you or Mr. Robert Vadra explain why this was the case?
why? You know, there are hundreds of companies which are formed, and out of 1,000 companies, one does profit. One succeeds.
No,
this
but
is
then
this is
second
the
question.
hit and
No,
miss
it's not-
business.
no.
Everybody
I
tries
don't-
to do
I don't
something.
think normal
I have
people-
tried to do many things in my life.
But
No, I don't
I
think
have tried
normal
to do
people
many
are like
things
the
in my
business
life,
of
and I have
setting up
failed.
companies. It's not a monopoly game. No, second question. Please tell me, at least tell the viewers who are watching tonight, what is the purpose of setting up 6 different companies in the first place? I want to know.
You see, the purpose may be one which could not be achieved, and therefore
that?
the
Which is that?
the purpose
Acquiring
is
land?
dropped. And one of those will be
Acquiring
that
land?
the land which is purchased will appreciate.
There.
And it doesn't appreciate because the previous government, just a minute,
No,
because the
no,
previous
you just
government
revealed something.
alters the alignment. The previous government alters the alignment
So you
to the
set up
disadvantage
companies.
of the person who has
So you set
invested.
up companies in the hope that the governments will do what is business-wise good for you. Who in the world
No,
sets
no,
up
no, no,
companies
no.
hoping the
Not
government
in
will
that
do you
hope.
some good?
You
Sambit
set up
Patra is
companies
interrupting.
in
One
the
second.
hope
We are getting
that you
into
will do
legal
something.
quicksand now.
No,
One
Arnab,
second.
just
Sambit
Arnab, we
Patra.
have
Ashish
seen as
Khetan
to how
before
the
that. Ashish
Haryana
Khetan.
government had
Ashish Khetan,
tweaked
who
the
goes first?
Just one
policies.
second.
We have seen as to how the Haryana government had tweaked the policies to give benefit to the son-in-law. We have seen as to how the land sealing acts were tweaked in Rajasthan
You see, the
to give
companies which are
benefit to the
named-
son-in-law. It is
the
amply
companies which are
clear
being
today
closed
But
down
that
I-
benefits
I
are given to the
hope-
son-in-law.
Sambit,
And today,
I
when the
sincerely
protective
hope-
shield of the first family is not available, the
no.
son-in-law is
Sambit,
withdrawing out of
let-
frustration and fear. It is amply clear.
When you find that
This does not
your
need any
original
rocket science,
allegation
Mr.
is not-
Tulsi, please
not
go ahead, Mr.
possible
Tulsi.
to be substantiated, this is what you say. You people want to jump to the conclusion. You have named 6 companies which are being closed down. Kindly stick to those six companies. You can't flip from one place to the other merely because you want to jump to a conclusion.
Sir, can I ask you a follow-up question?
You want to make political gain. This is political vendetta. That's what everybody is saying.
No, can I ask you one question? Robert Vadra has been evading our questions. On Sunday, he did the most utterly despicable act of trying to beat up a journalist who asked him a question on the matter. Or what is the Indian media asking? The Indian media is asking, what prompted the sudden shutdown of your companies? If these are loss-making entities, please tell me, were there details declared to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs?
They were neither loss-making nor profit-making. There was no business transacted in these companies. That's what the media is saying.
Mr. Tulsi, another last question.
This is what your own newspaper
last
says.
question. Are these front companies, for example, the paid-up capital of all these 6 companies, if you look through the details,
how can you say without any basis? Merely because they are closed down, they become front companies.
Sir, listen to me. In the case of...
There is not an ounce of illegality which is committed.
This is your claim.
No illegitimate gain made.
Sir,
no illegitimate loss declared.
Sir,
nothing of the sort done, and yet you want to jump to the same conclusion.
I am not jumping, I am only asking questions. Am I making an insinuation? No, I am asking questions, yes. In the case of Skylight Hospitality, Sambit Patra wants to come in. The paid-up capital was only 5 lakh, and the PAG of Haryana specifically questioned the Department of Town and Country Planning about why a company with such a low paid-up capital had been provided special treatment. What did the PAG ask Sambit Patra? PAG noted that the status of the director... One second. They said the status of the director proved decisive. What is the status of the director?
Yes.
What is the status of the director?
He's the son-in-law of the Congress's most powerful person. The status of director is that he is the son-in-law of the Congress's most powerful family.
Why are you laughing,
and
Mr.
that's the
Tulsi?
reason as to
Is
why
that
the
wrong?
policies were kept aside.
Why are you laughing,
yes,
Mr. Tulsi?
I mean, this was Mr. Tulsi.
You see, you are shifting base.
It is in record.
You are shifting base. Your whole story is
written in the file noting
are being closed down
just see as who is the
I have a question
when you
for you,
find that is not substantiated by your own allegations, now you go on to the Skylight. I have not studied the matter with regard to Skylight. I will study the matter with regard to Skylight and come back.
Sir, you know about
but your
Skylight.
story is about 6 definite companies. 6 companies which are named by Times of India in the story.
Sir,
those 6
what am I
companies
asking?
have not
No,
done
1 second.
First of all,
I strongly, sir, with respect, refute your allegation that we are shifting goalposts. I am asking if these 6 companies with a low paid-up capital were meant to serve the same purpose as Skylight, because the one thing common to the 6 companies and Skylight is a gentleman called Robert Vadra. Maybe he has the same style of business. What business he was doing with Skylight in Haryana, he wanted to do with the 6 companies in Rajasthan. It's simple as that.
Maybe that's not how insinuations are made. Sir,
I'm not making an insinuation.
We are so light-hearted in making these allegations.
Sir, there is no light-hearted allegation being made. Facts are being presented before you. Okay, so my question is, while all these 6 companies have Robert Vadra as the managing director, 5 of the companies have a man called Amit Kumar Mehta as the director. Who is Amit Kumar Mehta? What is his association with Robert Vadra? Who is Amit Kumar Mehta? Is he an executive in a big company? Is there a man? I don't know. Is there a man called Amit Kumar Mehta who is an executive in a big?
I just want to come in.
In a big builder company?
I don't know.
I think you are raising some very legitimate questions, and they need to be answered. They should be answered. But I have a question for Sambit Patra. Sambit, you and I know.
Go ahead.
Sambit, you and I know that
he's
the instance of crony, the crony capitalism and undue favors and loss to the state exchequer is not restricted to this one case alone. There's a PIL pending before the Punjab and Haryana High Court, where several builders have benefited using the same modus operandi.
And
land was the most precious commodity in Haryana, which was traded by the government of the day and was given away for a pittance to various developers. I would like to know whether you would go after other developers, other builders who also have been donors to both Congress and BJP. I hope you will not restrict the scope of the investigation to just Robert Vadra's companies. The scope of the investigation will also cover all other land deals
Mr. Khetan,
involving other developers and builders.
Take my answer.
No,
Yes,
I want
Mr.
to say that
Khetan,
DLF
today I
has
will
been
not attack
indicted
you.
by Competition
Today I
Commission
will
of
not
India and
attack
Supreme
you.
Court.
Today I will not be harsh with
DLF
you,
has
Mr.
also
Khetan.
misused
Today I will not
their
attack you.
acquisition
Today I
and
will not be harsh with you,
also
Mr.
been a beneficiary of
Khetan,
undue
because
favor.
today you have
I
submitted
would like to know
yourself.
whether you will also
Today
go
you have
after
submitted
DLF
yourself
and
to
other
Mr.
private
Modi.
developers.
Today you have submitted yourself to Mr. Modi. You have surrendered to Mr. Modi, so I will not attack you.
Mr. Modi
I would
going
not be
after
harsh with
Adani
you.
and Ambani
Today your
also?
website says that we have surrendered to
money
Mr.
laundering
Modi.
case of 6,000
You have bought the
crores
vision of
for which
Mr.
there is an
Narendra Modi
FIR.
today.
If
So
Modi
today I will
also
not attack you,
investigates
Mr.
Ambani's
Khetan.
role in KG
Today you enjoy. You have a show today because today you have surrendered. The Aam Aadmi Party has surrendered in front of the vision of Mr. Modi, in front of the magnanimity of the vision of Mr. Modi. The Aam Aadmi Party has surrendered.
I will
And they have
submit to Mr.
said
Modi
that we
if
should have a
Mr. Modi
PM as
says
Mr.
he will
Narendra Modi.
investigate all cases of crony capitalism involving Adani, involving Ambani, involving
Why are you
DLF,
asking
I will
ask
submit to
those
him.
people who
I
have
want to know
posted
whether
the
Mr. Modi
photo
will
of
only
Mr.
go after
Narendra Modi in your
Vadra or will
website.
also
No, one
extend
second,
his
one second,
you are
something.
saying
One
him
second, KTS
Mr.
Tulsi
Narendra
showing
Modi.
something here. One second. Yes, Mr. Tulsi, what are you holding up? One second. Okay, Mr. Tulsi has to go.
I'm
That's he has
holding up
excused
that
himself.
I have to
No,
go
but the
to another
debate continues
channel
at
and
this
their
point.
program has started.
One second.
My time with you was till 8 o'clock. It's 8:05.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, my question is, however, I don't think we can let Sambit Patra off the hook. I thank you, Mr. Tulsi, for joining us. By the way, I'm not completely satisfied with your answers on Mr. Vadra, but since you know him, please call him and tell him he has been invited several times on Newshour. His time has come. He needs to join us on a live debate on the Newshour. Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Sambit Patra is dodging the question. Sambit Patra, you know what? Don't take this, high moral ground position. Forget Ambani, Adani, which he's talking about. Let's talk about Vadra. Didn't you speak about
I'm talking about specific cases where there are FIR and CAG reports.
But in the context of Vadra,
I'm talking about specific cases.
So in the context of Robert Vadra, the BJP spoke of initiating a probe, Kumar Ketkar, into Robert Vadra's land deals in Haryana. The fact of the matter is they have not managed to make any headway. Now, have they not managed to make headway because they can't or they don't want to?
We have not made any headway or
what headway have you made? Tell us now. What headway have you made?
I'm telling you, allow me 10 seconds.
They have made a documentary called Damaji. That's the only headway you have made.
10 seconds.
What headway have you made?
Party, will you keep quiet? You have surrendered to Mr. Modi today. So please, you have surrendered to Mr. Modi today. So please don't question. Arnab is questioning. I'll answer Arnab.
Move beyond Modi ji.
You have surrendered.
Is this the only mantra you have? Modi,
you keep quiet, then I'll answer Arnab. You have to be quiet. No, you have to be civil. You have to allow me time to answer. You have to.
No, one second. Kumar Ketkar is objecting to something. Yes, Kumar Ketkar.
Where does this business? Where does this business
objecting to? From the very beginning,
Batra, where is this business of surrendering to Modi comes in the debate on Vadra, whether he is guilty or not, circumstantial or otherwise? How does it matter? How does it matter which AAP members are joining BJP or not joining BJP? How does it matter? How does it matter to the subject raised by Arnab Goswami? What Arnab Goswami has raised, Goswami has raised a question of crony capitalism.
We must be doing something very right on the website, Sambit, that you are so don't to our website.
The two aspects are, one is raised by Arnab, a specific case.
No, one second, Kumar Ketkar.
And the second is by Ashish, which is semi-theoretical question of crony capitalism. Crony capitalism was not invented yesterday. It was not invented in 2004. Crony capitalism has been the practice for the last 2 decades. And Mr. Ashish is absolutely right. Whether he is surrendering to Modi or not is totally immaterial and irrelevant question in this case. If you are concentrating on Vadra, concentrate only on Vadra and let me know what BJP governments are taking action against Vadra in Rajasthan or in Haryana. Let me know what BJP government is doing.
Gentlemen, I have 5 minutes on the debate. I think 1 second. Allow me to ensure that these 5 minutes are spent purposefully. And because I want to ensure the 5 minutes are spent purposefully, I will repeat my question to Sambit Patra.
You are exposed. Mr. Ketkar is the one who
answer Arnab's question.
Rather than condemning the culprit, he's asking the government.
Question.
We are working. Have you condemned?
Who muddy the waters?
Do not know any of the a while ago. Now you are questioning what the government has done.
We don't even know who is the culprit.
And if I say that you engage,
you do not know the culprit, but you are asking what the government has done.
We don't know who is the culprit.
You are the one who is
defending the culprit because the case has not been made. Your governments are there in Haryana, your
Now let
government
me
is there in
answer.
Rajasthan.
Now
No,
allow
I
me
think,
the time to
one second. Sambit Patra, first of all, I draw your attention to the fact that I would reasonably expect a person like you who claims to be direct with me tonight. When there are three people, including me, accusing you of dodging the question, I expect you to be provoked enough to reply to me. No, first listen to the question. How can you reply to your own question? I'll ask you the question. My question is this. Sambit Patra says the BJP has made headway. BJP has made headway. Let me tell him what headway they have made. They've conducted a survey. They've concluded, but nothing concrete has emerged out of them to act against Vadra. They made the deals, his deals, the biggest issue in the election. There is very little in terms of actual action so far. When will we see action on Vadra? Action, not this election issue kind of thing. Yes.
Can I answer in 10 seconds? First, Arnab, I mean, you are debating Robert Vadra's closure of companies today because of the fact that under the rule of Mr. Modi, under the rule of Mr. Khattar, this is possible.
Sir.
The corrupt are fearful. They are fearful. They are frustrated. They're closing their companies.
That is
because
not
they
action.
know that they would be punished.
That is
That is
not
the reason as
action.
to why they're receding. Secondly,
his
the
fear,
CAG
maybe.
report in Haryana has been put
that
in
is
front of
action.
the PSC.
You can say that is his apprehension.
Can
How can
I
you
have
call
my
his
time? Who is
apprehension?
interjecting in my time?
Batra, how
Mr.
can you
Ketkar,
call
who
his
does not know anything about the
apprehension
topic,
as
is
your action?
interjecting. How come?
No, how can you
Mr.
call his
Ketkar,
apprehension
you have
as
not
your action?
studied about Mr. Vadra. You are saying and you're questioning me. Please brief yourself about the matter. You yourself say you do not know anything about the matter. How come you are questioning me?
I have 3 minutes now. 3 minutes. No, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. No, I won't let you off the hook now. No, I won't let you off the hook, Mr. Patra. And let me say this, I won't let anyone off the hook on this one, neither the Congress nor the BJP.
We are constitutionally elected government. So we will act constitutionally and take my words. We'll punish the culprits. But we are
When?
not up panchayats. Remember,
Before the next
if you
election?
behave in a way
Last
as
time you said
panchayat,
5 years.
Then tomorrow Arnab would be questioning me. Why are you behaving as
I am
panchayat?
questioning
But
you
I
now.
assure you, we'll punish
I
them.
am questioning you
We'll
now.
punish them as they have not
the
done
support
before.
by the NCP. You called NCP the naturally corrupt party. You ran a 3-year
Party. Why are
campaign
you
against
speaking,
NCP for
Mr.
irrigation
Khetan?
scam.
Go, surrender,
You have not
surrender.
even
You have
turned
already
down the offer
surrendered
of
in front
outside
of Modi.
support extended by the NCP. You are using
Open your
NCP as a
website and
guarantor
see, Mr.
against
Khetan, you have
Shiv Sena.
surrendered. You are a non-entity
This
today.
is your real face.
You yourself had
Come
said
on.
that without Modi we
If
are
you
nothing.
are so serious against
why are you
taking
questioning
action
me? Go
against
and prepare for
corruption,
elections
you
and
should
then
have
don't
turned
do all
down
this
outright the offer of support
Let
from
me
the
answer
NCP.
my question.
Is there
Show
an
me
FIR
one
against
demonstrable
Robert
act.
Vadra? Last question. Ravi Shankar Prasad in his press conference on the Election Commission's decision on Robert Vadra spoke about an FIR being registered vis-a-vis Vadra's land deals in Rajasthan. This happened on the 26th of August 2014. Check your facts. Do a Google search right now, Sambit Patra. As far as I know, where is the FIR against Robert Vadra's name in Rajasthan? Where is the name? Where is the FIR? Is there an FIR?
4 people have been suspended and the buck is fast moving towards Robert Vadra.
That
4
was
people
not
have
what
been
you
suspended.
promised.
Buck is fast moving towards Robert Vadra. And days
Fast
of
moving
those who
towards
are
Robert Vadra.
protecting Robert Vadra is also less. Those who are standing in favor of Robert Vadra also, they should also close their companies.
I have a man ka sawal. Where are my 15 lakhs? When will we get our black money back?
Where does the 15 lakh
120
come
lakh
from?
crore rupees. How many
I'll
new
send
names have you
your
got?
chanda, don't worry. Your chanda
How
will
much
reach you,
money
don't worry.
have you been able
Your
to get
chanda
back
will
from the
reach you.
Switzerland?
Don't
How much
go
money
into
have you
chanda
been able to
business.
get back
Don't
from
go-
offshore bank?
Don't start this chanda business,
No, please tell.
Mr.
You have
Khetan.
been
Don't start
castigated
this
by the
chanda
Supreme
business
Court
over here.
for hiding names.
Be on
Okay, Jabbar.
topic.
Acting as a
Be on
protective
topic.
umbrella against
Today
black
you have
money holders.
surrendered to the.
Am I
today you have
wrong?
surrendered to
Didn't the
Bharatiya
Supreme
Janata
Court
Party in your
castigate you
website.
for
Stay
acting as a
calm.
protective
Stay
umbrella?
surrendered. Don't question others when you are not doing anything.
However,
Ashish,
while I say all this, I
Ashish,
would have seriously appreciated.
Ashish, I am not joining BJP and I can question, and there is no question of NCP being protected by the BJP now. It is happening. So the question of dealing with corruption, we are completely familiar here in Mumbai. So BJP handling corruption and crony capitalism is out of question. You just check what was Adani's
How do
asset
you know it
in
is not even a
2002.
one-week-old
What were
government? How do you know it
Adani's
is out of
asset in
question, Mr.
2002 and what are Adani's assets now in just last 12 years? And how can you say this is the period of Mr. Narendra Modi? This is the period of Narendra Modi. You check Adani's assets and you check Adani's assets now. You check the assets and can you
Are we
circumstantial
concerned?
evidence against
we
Vadra.
concerned?
There
Are
is
we
circumstantial
concerned?
evidence
Sambit Patra,
against you
Kumar
and
Ketkar,
Adani
hear me.
also.
Are we concerned in the media and as a citizen of this country on the downward spiral of Robert Vadra? No. Does Robert Vadra interest us? No. But crony capitalism interests us.
Yes.
And if there has been a misuse of position,
Absolutely correct.
then that must be investigated. And therefore, the people of this country expect an honest and transparent investigation, no longer a promise, before, after, or during an election from any party. Thank you for joining us on this debate on the Newshour tonight.